Miles Turner misses. He's a rookie. He'll learn playoffs are a little different. We the North, the battle cry from Jurassic Park outside Air Canada Center. As we get more on the Raptors from Israel Gutierrez. Thanks, Mark. Welcome back, everyone, to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The Raptors, the home crew, up by 5. Game 1 between the Raptors and the Pacers. And the guy they call the Six God at courtside, Drake. The hotline hasn't gone bling yet, but it sounds like it's about to as we check out today's winning ingredients brought to you by McDonald's. We focus on the backcourt and a couple of good friends of Drake's. 77% of the time, Paul George straightening things out with his teammates. As you would imagine, and time out on the floor. The Raptors lead by 3 when we come back.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs is brought to you by Burger King. Get 5 delicious items for $4 only at Burger King.
Look at our Corona extra performers, and the Raptors, in lieu of getting points from Lowry and DeRozan, getting big help from these guys.
Well, Valanciunas was a monster on the glass. They went to him a couple times in the post. I think the bench, Mark, the Toronto bench has got 18 points. They're starters.
Of the playoffs, but Patterson bringing this house alive, Doris.
You had a Paul George miss. They got into a numbered situation. Lowry delivers. The place erupted.
Toronto Sunday, our NBA playoff coverage continuing as Andre Drummond and the Pistons facing off against King James and the Cavaliers in Game 1 of the series at 3 Eastern time on ABC. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown presented by Straight Talk Wireless at 2. We'll take one too, folks. Stick around. We'll be right back. Rain rolling on today. 3 more games. 3:30 on ABC. Rockets take on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Then on ESPN, Celtics visiting the Hawks at 7. Followed by Dirk and the Mavs in OKC to take on KD and Westbrook at 9:30. All games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Hey, that OKC Dallas series, easy travel if nothing else, right?
I set the screen on the left-hand side of the floor because if I set it left, I roll left, and that's my strength. That side of the floor.
Well, it's time to check out today's home court advantage brought to you by Lowe's. And man, get in front of your TV and spend the day, folks. Look at this. Got this one here in Toronto, then over on ABC at 3 o'clock. It's Golden State, who's had a great advantage against Houston and everybody else. And the Dallas Mavericks, that's our nightcap. They finished the season on a nice roll.
Well, not surprisingly, Rick Carlisle is one of the outstanding coaches in this league. And Dirk Nowitzki, how about that guy at his age, just continuing to be that prolific on the offensive end. And you talked about the free agency of DeMar DeRozan. How about Oklahoma City? Kevin Durant enters as an unrestricted free agent.
Game 1.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by the new hardest working collection from Old Spice, legendary protection for legendary men.
Rested in 2 of the last 4 regular season games. Said he was physically ready, but he's had a subpar performance so far, Doris.
So let's give some credit to Paul George and the entire Indiana team defensively because they're making life difficult. Remember, some discipline after the foul fest that was the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. They have done a very good job. Paul George is flat taking over this basketball game. Raptors have no answer. Gets out in the passing lane, strips it. He knows they're going to DeRozan. Paul George, yes sir, welcome back. Been a quiet afternoon for Terrence Ross. One of those guys they identify as being more consistent, but staying space. The feed from Lowry gets him locked up at 74.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by The Huntsman Winter's War. Discover the story before Snow White in theaters Friday. And Toyota, let's go places.
Coming up on ABC at 3:30 Eastern time. Steph Curry, who made over 400 three-pointers this year, an NBA record. That is unbelievable. And he made it at about a 46% clip. And look at some of the rest of the games tonight. Celtics, Hawks, Mavericks, Thunder, both on ESPN. As OKC, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant going to work against the Mavs.
Very quietly, the Hawks have been one of the outstanding defensive teams down the stretch of this season. I think two really well-coached teams.
Back after this.
To walk up three in transition. He really started to get going at the start of the third with that three. Leans inside the defender on that one, curls off a screen, delivers another perimeter jump shot. This one was just excellent ball movement. I thought you could have had two players prior to him take that shot, and then he shoots a gap. And then this last play, because watch the left arm of DeRozan. He feels it, and he goes right up. And it was visible for frustration from DeMar DeRozan. We had to look at it several times to see whether he fouled him, but he's got a chance to add to those 17 second half points, and they're playing exclusively through him in the post. And why not, Mark?
Yeah.
We saw him deliver the ball to the corner for the
lead. The Pacers picking away at that scab of the Raptors that is still very fresh. Back after this.
Paul George. There is no answer right now for Toronto where he is concerned. Off the screen from Turner was an outstanding screen. How about create your own? A little separation from DeMar DeRozan. Again, another screen. And what do you think about being an elite player? Here's what he thinks.
Pacers close it out. They struggled doing that this season. Back after this. Introspective, concerned look across the face of Kyle Lowry. The frustration visible for the Raptors 1 through 12. Which includes the coaching staff as well. And here's why you see those concerned looks. Their history not that good when it comes to what they've done in the first round. 2 years ago against the Nets, talked about it a moment ago. They dropped game one, and then against the Wizards last year the same.
There was a common denominator in the Nets in Washington, and that was Paul Pierce.